Well, hello there. In this video I just wanted to have a look at one of the lesser known, but I think one of the best Victorinox Swiss Army knife EDC type models. It's the Victorinox Sportsman. This is an 84mm model. Let's get a Victorinox Spartan in there. There's a Spartan, a 91mm Spartan, your kind of bog standard Swiss Army knife that all the others in theory are based on. The Spartan there, 91mm, these are 84mm, so just that little bit smaller. So we got the same thickness as the Spartan, the same tool set also, but it's just that little bit more compact, and I really think this is perfect. I mean, this is nice and small and pocketable as well, the Spartan, and a great choice for EDC. But this just carries that a little bit easier in the pocket. Really nice. You can pick these up for less than 20 quid off the Amazon or similar. I got these custom scales made from a guy called Taschen Messer Mad via Etsy. Excellent work, Mikata scales. They look and feel amazing. They've got the pen slot, so I've basically got an 84mm plus model with the pen slot and no pin slot, but yeah. This is a custom scales. I've had this one knocking about for years, but yeah, this is great. Really useful. I don't like some of the bigger Swiss Army knives. They can get really fat, 3, 4, 5 layers more. They can get a bit fat and bulky in your pocket. This model and the Spartan have the best sort of set of tools for general everyday use, I think. There is actually another way. Let's just have a quick look at the tools. You've got your standard knife blade there, really useful. Victorinox steel. It's not the hardest steel in the world or anything, but it's really easy to maintain and to keep sharp with a few strokes of a sharpening method of your choice. The steel is excellently corrosion resistant. Let's just have a little compare here. The blade is proportionally smaller than on the 91mm models, but that's still a decent blade for general usage. Excellent slicers, these thin blades, really good. Then you've got the separate opener layer. Again, I really like the separate opener layer because you're kind of having to have an extra layer for the extra opener layer, but some of the models that are slim, like this little Alox Bantam here, has the combo tool, which kind of works as a flathead. It works okay as a cap lifter. It sort of works as a can opener as well, if really needed. This can opener is really good, much better than this. Really good. You can also use this as a small kind of scraping blade. The small flathead here also works on some Phillips screws. To use this on Phillips screws, you have to angle it like this and fit that piece in. It's terrible. So that works as a really good can opener, flathead and a Phillips and a small scraper blade. Then you've got this cap lifter, which is sturdy, solid. This one, the combo tool's really thin, really flimsy. I've bent a couple of these over the years. This can be used for prying paint can lids, a little bit of prying, a wire stripper. You know, it's good as a cap lifter. The extra layer of these two tools is really, really useful. Much better than the combo tool, in my opinion. Then you've got, what do you got there? Screwdriver, corkscrew, I mean, you know. Corked wine, it's pretty rare, isn't it now? This has saved the bacon. The Victorinox corkscrew has saved my bacon, or our drinking bacon, on several occasions over the years, but it's a great place for the little eyeglasses screwdriver. You can now get a tiny Phillips, a tiny Torx, and a tiny SIM card removal pin that can slot in there. You can also get those little fire starter kits with a little tiny ferro rod that fits in there, and some waxed kindling. All fits in the screwdriver. Really nicely designed. Then of course I made plus scales. You've got a little pin in there, and then the awl. I like to give it my all. That's really useful for making little pilot holes, stuff like that. Good as a ferro rod striker as well. Excellent. And then the other tool that I haven't yet mentioned. On the Spartan, you've got all the same tools so far. On the Spartan, you get an extra tiny blade. Very nice. Very nice backup. To me, it's much more useful. On the Sportsman, you get a file. An excellent file, I might say. It's really good for nail maintenance, stuff like that. You could file any soft stuff with that. But also this little tip as a prodder, it's really much more useful to me than a second blade. Here's my blade. That's it. This fits small Phillips screws as well. It's really useful. As a general, day to day, that's more useful to me than the second blade. The 84mm Swiss Army knives don't normally come as a plus scales knife, i.e. with a pen slot. So Taschen Messer Mad makes them with the pen slot, and I've had a little go at making the pen slot myself. On this one I've ruined these these nice matte scales, unfortunately, by doing this as my first attempt. I shouldn't have. But yeah, I've made pen slots. Did the same one here. This one looks much neater. This is a second attempt. So you pop the scales off, cut down there with a knife blade, then using tiny little files, you can file out a channel just to make that fit in there. So you've then got the pen. I think that is wonderful utility. Oh, look at these nice, attractively coloured tweezers and toothpick as well. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, I think the 84mm Sportsman is an absolutely fantastic option. If you do want the second smaller blade, like on the Spartan, they do another one called 84mm. It's the Tourist, and that has the second smaller backup blade, if you like, as well. But yeah, for me, as on the Cadet, this little file with the prodder tip, screwdriver tip, is really useful. Just while we're on the subject, the Alox Cadet, very popular model, beautiful to hold and to look at. It's slim, it's extremely durable, but I don't know, man, with the extra utility of these backside tools, look at that, that's so much slimmer. But the extra utility you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more tools on the Sportsman. The corkscrew, the mini screwdriver, the pin, the pen, the toothpick, the tweezers and the awl. You get all that as extra on the Sportsman. Now, I absolutely love the Cadet and carry it a lot, but the extra utility in here, it's hard to argue with, I think. Highly underrated and under the radar model. Highly recommended. Adios, amigos.